Hello, I'm Bill Case. This is the latest in our oral history project interviews, and with me is the videographer John Clark, but our interviewee today, a special guest, is Klaus Gauer. Klaus, welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your background and your folks and where you grew up, and so we get to know you a little bit.
Well, I was born and raised in West Germany in a small town by the name of Lübeck. I immigrated to Canada in 1960 and ended up in the United States in 1961 in Toledo. I went to the Toledo University, got my bachelor's and my graduate degree there, and worked for Owens Corning and Owens Fiberglass in the engineering department, in construction, and after that I went on my own, working in Columbus. I got to Columbus through my wife, who was a teacher here in Columbus, and I did a big project for Columbus developer in Dayton, a housing project, and after that I went on my own in 1974 as a general contractor.
So you were 19 years old and decided you wanted to see a little bit more of the world.
That's correct. I was always curious what was going on in the United States and Canada and so on, so I thought, well, before I settle down in Germany I might as well take a look and see what's going on the other side of the ocean.
So you first went to Winnipeg.
That's correct, yes.
But then on one of your travels you met somebody from Toledo.
That's correct, and they sponsored me and I ended up in Toledo. And
from there, you, as you explained, you came to work with Owens Corning.
That's correct.
And you had some engineering background.
That's
from
correct,
your
yes.
Education in Germany.
In Germany, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
How did that engineering background help you as you worked in the States?
Well, it certainly gave me a good background on reading blueprints and analyzing projects and this type of thing. So I knew something about construction.
At some point you formed your own business.
Yes, I formed my own business in 1974 in Columbus, and I built a number of homes in Muirfield, Upper Arlington, Dublin, Powell, Delaware, even as far south as Lancaster.
And that was Gauer Construction?
Yes, that's correct.
And your wife is the one that pretty much brought you to the Columbus area?
Yes, she did, yes.
So you lived in Muirfield?
Yes.
At some point in time, you became involved with German Village.
Yes, I bought my first house in German Village. I think it was in 1988, 925 City Park. I never will forget that. It was a burned out house, a condemned crack house, and we bought it for $25,000, and I started renovating the house for sale, but during the renovation we fell in love with it and ended up selling our large home in Muirfield on the 10th Fairway and moved into our tiny little house in German Village at 925 City Park.
And in doing that renovation, I assume you had some interaction with the German Village Commission.
That's correct, yes. So that was really my first introduction to the German Village Commission, to get a certificate of appropriateness for any exterior work that was being contemplated. And after that, I really started doing more and more renovation in German Village and got a foothold in German Village. And as of today, I probably have worked on over 60 homes here in German Village.
Now, Klaus, as a contractor doing business, I know some business people feel that, gee, that's a layer of regulation I have to deal with that's unnecessary. How did you view the commission process as you first worked with it as a businessman?
Well, I mean, it took me a little while to get used to it, but after I got used to the process, I thought it was really a very good idea to get the input of commissioners on any exterior work that was being done, because sometimes I don't care how good you are, you seem to overlook things. And I think by getting the expertise from the commissioners, I think that helps some of the applicants in making the proper decision on how to handle complex addition or exterior changes to an existing old structure.
So you moved down here in 1988.
That's correct.
I understand you had a kind of a surprise housewarming party.
That's correct. When we were moving in, we just had our furniture, and up comes a big entourage with Fred and Howard leading the way to our backyard, and we just had a great time. And I don't know how many people were there, but probably about a couple dozen welcoming us to the village. It was really a very, very nice welcoming party, and really everybody was just so super nice and friendly, and we just enjoyed it so much that we just really fell in love with the village.
Fred and Howard were the village's greatest ambassadors.
There's no question about it.
Tell us a little bit more about them and your experience.
I think we owe Fred and Howard an awful lot in the village history. I think what they have done and contributed to the village is just priceless. And I think we should build a big statue next to the Schiller statue of Fred and Howard.
You had such a good experience buying a home here that you decided to buy other properties.
Yes, we have probably lived in 7 different homes here in the village, from Desher to Thurman to Lansing to Reinhardt, Jackson and Mohawk. So we pretty much made the circuit here in the village, and just loved every place we have renovated and every place we have lived in.
And your wife, Jeannie Gauer's had an involvement in this too.
Yes, Jeannie Gauer, she's with Sotheby Realty. She comes home every other day and tells me that she has found another house that we should take a look at in the village, and contemplating renovating it. But like I say, so far we've been through 7 homes.
Not only have you lived in 7 homes, you, through your contacts here, started doing more work with your business in German Village.
That's correct, yes, because the contacts I've made and living here, I met more and more people, and therefore got involved in their renovation needs.
About how many homes have you worked on?
I probably worked on over 60 homes here.
You told us off camera that you think you may have been in every house
Probably
in the village.
close to in every house in the village, yes, yes.
So through working with the commission on everything that was an exterior renovation, you acquired a pretty good knowledge right away.
There's no question about it, yes. I think I acquired a knowledge on how things should be done in the village, and what the goal was of the commission. And throughout that process, I think I was qualified when I was recommended by Jim Daly to serve on the commission, and then got appointed by Mayor Greg Lashatka.
So, and this was around 1990, 91?
That's correct, yes.
When you came on the commission, this was in the era of, I know a couple of folks we've interviewed, Scott Dewhurst and Mike Rosen, who served on the commission with you?
Yes, Mike Rosen served on the commission, Scott Dewhurst, Ann Fanta, Judy Williams. We had quite a nice little group. Mike Rosen was a chair, obviously. And
as a contractor, what role did you feel you played on the commission?
I was very much interested in making sure that the guidelines were being followed, the details in the guidelines. So we have extensive details about how windows should be trimmed outdoors, type of dormers, steps, exterior escapes. So I was kind of really concerned about that the guidelines being followed to the nth degree.
The commission members brought different abilities to the table. Scott was a lawyer.
That's correct, yes. We have a nice mix of commissioners, historians, an attorney, a contractor. So I think, a historian. So I think we have a good mix to come up with with decisions that it may be painful to the applicants at one point, but I think the end result are really a benefit to the applicant.
From what you've told me and other commissioners, the proceedings at the commission, you would try to work with property owners to find solutions if what they proposed initially wasn't quite to your liking.
That's correct. I mean, I think having 6 or 7, I think 7 commissioners to look at a project, I think is much better than just have one person on and just an architect look at it. I think we have added to the integrity of the projects and ended up really with a much better project than was originally presented in many instances.
Can you recall some interesting, noteworthy issues that came before the commission during your time there?
Well, obviously, Lindy's always was an interesting application that always filled the room full with spectators. Also, I think when the gas station was torn down on the corner of 3rd and Livingston, and we went through the approval process to get the existing structure approved. It was a very interesting process. I heard Max and Irma's expansion, and there were so many different interesting projects that I just don't recall any specific details, but I remember many times when we got started at 4:30 and still at 11:30 we were still here in the Schreier room going through the applications.
The commissioners had to balance the property owner's requests with neighbors' concerns on parking and that sort of thing.
That's right. That's right. Parking has always been a big issue, and of course green space allocation has been really a big issue for the commissioners, trying to preserve as much green space as possible, and maintaining the small cottages, a few cottages that we have left, that the alteration to those cottages would not really detract from the overall landscape of the German village.
You served 9 years on the commission.
Yes.
And you did other things in German Village too, other activities.
Yes, I served on the Historic Preservation Committee. We did host several pre-tour dinners, and I also volunteered as a host on the open houses for the tour day.
So now you've lived in German Village for about 25 years.
Yes, a short period of time. We left the village, but we came back, and we're living now in Mohawk.
Tell me, given all your service to the German Village and the Commission, what are you proudest of with your service?
Well, I feel that the Commission has done a great deal in maintaining the architectural integrity of the buildings in German Village. While I was a commissioner, we started the Caretaker Legacy Awards, which I'm very proud of. And I think it's a very nice addition to rewarding homeowners here in the village that do an outstanding job on keeping the integrity of German Village going.
You told me that Caretaker's Award plus some meetings helped to undo a little bit of friction that at one point occurred between the society and the commission. There's
no question about it. I think it made us work together a little bit better, and I think it benefited both the commission and the society.
Klaus, just give me your overall impression of living here in German Village and what it means to you.
Well, I've lived many places, and I think German Village is probably the nicest and best place I ever lived, and I feel we couldn't ask for a more friendly neighborhood, and if anything gets done, it gets done here in the village with the help of everybody.
Thank you.